We live in a vibrant region, from the city and beaches to the mountains and deserts. And with all these amenities, it's easy to overlook the fact that San Diego maintains a thriving community of local farmers, fisheries, and butchers that provide local, sustainable food that in turn is prepared and served right here in town. Garden to Plate will be highlighting some great people, organizations, and restaurants making this movement for better living more accessible to you and oh so very delicious. I wanted to see how Chef Olivier uses local produce and fish in his restaurant, so he invited me over.
Hello, Erica. How are you? Good to see you.
You might hear his French accent, but after living here for over 20 years, he is definitely a local.
A bit of black, a bit of yellow.
He went immediately to work, skillfully peeling a navel orange for a raw fish dish. Hey, that rhymes. He then made quick work of the yellowtail tuna from Catalina Offshore Products. Adding a variety of herbs and olive oil from Temecula, he then revealed his trade secret, a giant pepper mill.
So that was the biggest peppermint. So you can go like that, you can go like this. You can do a bunch of stuff, but it's a family show, so we're going to keep it family show.
The next dish consisted of white sea bass that he cut into medallions. He seared them in a pan with vegetable oil and seasoned them with salt. The dish also consisted of pickled vegetables. I'm really curious to see how this will turn out. Pickles and fish? Olivier explained to me how to know when the fish is ready.
It's a little firm on the side, but it's not too firm. Oh yeah. You know, it's got a little bit of a plain ground. If it's totally hard, it's going to be overcooked. So this is how we usually touch our fish.
Kind of raw in the middle.
Still want it to be raw in the middle. We're going to take that off.
He plated the second dish and then started on the next one. He makes it look so easy. I think I can do this. Olivier handed me an apron and put me to work. This is the face of confidence. I like to take my time when cutting tomatoes. Olivier seared some more white sea bass from Catalina Offshore for our fish tacos, as I helped make the pico de gallo. The final dish is gazpacho. I don't even know what that is. We cut up a variety of tomatoes, onions, garlic, and chives, and a fresh squeezed navel orange, and then tossed it all into a blender. We then strained it using a chinois and ladle. He plated it with a tomato garnish at the center of the bowl, and then we're done. Let's eat! The first dish we prepared was local yellowtail tuna, and it was served pesce crudo, which means raw. The second dish we made was a local pan-seared white sea bass with Susie's Farm pickled vegetables. The third dish was fish tacos, which is a San Diego favorite. It had seared local white sea bass with pico de gallo, consisting of tomatoes, onions, garlic, chives, and sweet corn. The final dish that I blended was balsamic gazpacho. It had sweet peppers, onions, yellow and red tomatoes, garlic, fresh squeezed navel orange, and chives, served with a house-made cracker.
Yeah,
this looks delicious.
I'm starving, so cheers!
Cheers!
Cheers! Cheers, everybody!
Yum! That's
Perfect summer wine.
So where should we start? Everything was, well, yummy, very fresh, very flavorful, and I couldn't even pick a favorite because they were all so fantastic. To think that everything on our plates is local made the meal even more appetizing. An amazing meal prepared by an amazing chef. Thanks, Olivier. We headed over to Bobo Kitchen and Bar in Ocean Beach for dinner because they feature local fare on Wednesdays. Let's go! Bobo is a French restaurant with a hearty home-style appeal and a beautiful rustic decor. I sat down with executive chef Catherine Humphis and talked about their unique menu and what prompted it.
Yeah, so Wednesday we call it our Farmers Market Fair because we have the OB Farmers Market going on, and we got a lot of people that were coming in here after and saying, I saw this at the farmers market and I don't know what to do with it, or how do you cook with it? So we just kind of thought it would be fun to kind of showcase local farms and use some more rare ingredients than people are used to seeing so that they could get ideas on what to do with it.
She put together a simple tomato salad that consisted of yellow tomatoes, microgreens, and pea-sized tomatoes that packed a rich, sweet flavor. The dish was served on a slab of butcher block. It was super rustic and really cool.
Sometimes we'll do like eggs from local farms and stuff like that, but we try and keep it all vegetarian on Wednesdays also.
Oh, really?
OB has such a huge vegetarian community, so we just thought we'd give them a little gift on Wednesdays. I think that the community appreciates what we're doing with it. There's a lot of restaurants around town that are either choose a specific night to feature local product or just have it on their daily menu. And I understand that, you know, it's hard to have local farms on the menu every day because of availability or price or whatever it is, but you know, this is our way of saying like we're doing the best that we can, and we're here to help the community because they help us all the time.
I let Catherine get back to work and I took a seat to get ready for this 3-course meal. So we have 2 menus. The big menu, which is the normal one they always have, and then on Wednesday nights they have local produce, and it's an all-vegetarian 3-course meal. Yum! This is the prettiest little salad I ever ate, and it tastes just as good as it looks with a surprising spicy kick. The roasted eggplant is an extremely hearty plate that even a meat eater would love, and the ice cream dessert is light and smooth and garnished with raspberries. There are also lightly sweetened figs tucked into a pastry sitting among raspberry sauce and honey drizzle. The dishes on their own are fantastic, but knowing that the ingredients are all locally grown makes this meal even more tasty and more meaningful. I wanted to get a view of locally grown on a smaller scale, a more personal scale. So we headed out to Golden Hill Community Garden where members tend to their 4 by 15-foot plots. I met with grower and chairboard member David Olson, and he explained to me why he chooses to raise produce from this garden.
I grow every plant on earth because I love growing plants. And I grow vegetables just for the reward, but just doing it is, it's great to be, feel the weather right now. It's a nice time to be here. You have camaraderie, friends here. And yes, there's a lot more to this than just growing your vegetables. But I really do try to live off of this because I know where it's coming from. And I like the idea of growing what I eat. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Eric Platt, who is also a grower and board member, explained that being a part of this garden isn't just about veggies. There are many different duties everyone takes on aside from tending their own plot.
What's going on over here?
Well, we're putting in a task board so that gardeners will be able to see what kind of tasks need to be done and what's been done, and if they want to work on something.
So is it something that you assign to people, or it's whoever volunteers to do certain things?
It's pretty much voluntary, so people will, they enjoy putting energy into the garden and helping out, so they'll look at the task board and say, oh, this needs to be done. And that way they'll know also what has already been done, so repeat it. And then we get to see who did what. There's a lot to a community garden like this. There's all kinds of stuff, like the pyracanthus that grows up on the fence has to be weeded. We've got all these nice flowers on the outside and herbs and so forth that are part of the common garden. Anyone can use them. Those all need to be watered and weeded. And there's always maintenance tasks like a hose bib that has to be fixed or repaired. And so we discuss those at the meetings and then decide, how it's going to get accomplished. And there's a lot to a garden.
Especially
That
one
goes
that's community, because there's so many people involved,
Right.
including you.
Bernard is part of our community.
Yeah, he is. Ice cream and all. What's so nice about these growers, as well as the passion that chefs Olivier and Catherine display, is that they are so quick to share what they are doing and thinking, and each one in their own way embracing a move to local and more sustainable food from the garden to the plate for the entire community. But I think Eric expressed it best.
It's very calming to come in here, and you just kind of feel this connection with the earth, and it's so wonderful just to see something growing. Like to plant a seed, and it's so beautiful, and to see it sprout, and just the whole wonder of that process from this little dry thing. This green sprout comes out, and then it goes into this plant, and you can eat it. And you eat it straight off the plant sometimes.
That's great.
And nothing tastes as good as something just straight off the plant.
Especially something that you grew yourself.
Especially that you grew yourself.
Yeah.
It's a very satisfying process. So I really love that aspect of it. And then you can share it with others, and you give it to your friends and family, or even people that stop by. I'll hand them things over the fence. We'll talk
really
about the garden. Yeah, and it feels so good that you're giving them this really healthy, fresh food. You're sharing this thing that you helped create.
That's awesome.
And yeah, they're really appreciative of it.
Some people may not even know the Golden Hill Community Garden exists, but plenty do by the fact that they have a 2-year waiting list. It's been so fun exploring San Diego and learning about the many choices we have to keep it local, healthy, and fresh. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Garden to Plate. I know I did.
Swim pools and backyards make summertime go faster. Couple laps in there will make you that much more healthier. If it's part of the plan, then why will you not share it? If the road gets bumpy, you may